If you have not liked and subscribed, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that bell button so that you get all the updates. So today we're going to talk about the leaps, everything about leaps, what you need to know about leaps, how do you choose leaps, what extract you choose, and things like that. We're going to talk only about leap. So for beginners, if you don't know leap is basically an option contract which expires in a year or more. So basically, let's say what's today is February 2nd. So if you buy an option contract which expires in February 2nd, next year February 2nd, that's called a leap. So that's all, nothing fancy about it. Any option contract which expires in a year or more is called a leap. And why leap are why leap is a lot better opportunity than just buying a stocks, why you should buy leaps, and we're going to talk about what should you look for a leap, right? So we're going to kind of explore all those things and maybe some good leaps I'm kind of looking right now. So those are the few things. So let's get started, right? So basically we covered what is leaps. An option contract which expires in a year or more is called a leap. Now, so why do you buy leap? So there's so many ways you can buy leap. For conservative, I would say you should buy really like in the money. So basically it's a lot better than buying any stock. So I'm going to start with that, like why in the money and why it's better than just buying any stock. So let's get started, right? So Facebook, right? So Facebook right now it's 680, 268, right? So Facebook is 268. So if you are thinking Facebook, let's say if you are buying, I'm gonna do calculator. So if you are buying 100 shares of Facebook, it's gonna cost you 26,000, right? 26,871. 268 times 71, right? So again, price changing, but that's what it is when you buy. So if you have 100 stocks, if it's down $1, you lose $100. Pretty simple, right? So you buy 100 stocks, it's 26,000. $1 up, you make 100. $1 down, if you look at that, you put pretty good sum, right? 268 is a lot of money. 26,000, right? Your capital is stuck with the Facebook. But instead of doing that, if you do buy in the money leap, right? So we're gonna look into trade and let's look into leap. So basically, let's say anything's right, a 1 year, so 365. So this is a leap. So anything July 22, that's a leap, right? So if you go to July 26 and let's look at strike price of 200, right? 200, and looks like this has probably a pretty good volume. So if you do this, right, look at this, right? So we can actually analyze this trade. So that's what you are getting it, right? Probability, this is risk profile. This is risk profile. So you make money if it's above certain point. So basically on the on 2022 you make, if it's like this is how much you will make, but if it's above 277 you make money. So anything above 277 you are profitable, right? Which is pretty not, I mean, Facebook is already at 260 something, so $10 up, you're still up making money, right? And how much you make is basically, if it goes, you make a lot of money, 11,000 almost, but if it's at the expirations, then you have to kind of look, right? But you can sell anytime, you can sell it right now. But if you look at price slice, if we can actually see that, right? This is profit and loss today, just because I think it's does the morning things. But if you look at your delta, this is 7 contract, kind of confusing, I guess. I should just do one. So basically delta is your movement, right? So $1 up, when if you bought this contract, $1 up in Facebook, you make $74. That's all, pretty straightforward. But the best thing is before, right? Before $1 up, you made 100, a little bit more. Here you can buy 2, but look at that. You only put 7,500. You did not put 26,000, right? So you have, let's say you have 30,000 account, you still have 25,000 left to play some other place, right? So that's the one advantage of in the money, right? So it's better than the stock in the money. And other things, if you look at theta, will be extremely less, right? Theta is basically in a day you lose like $4, which is probably not even right, but it's pretty, $4, right? But if it goes $1 up, even to think about it, like if Facebook remains flat, this is basically, if Facebook remains flat, you lose $4, but Facebook is $1 up one day, you make 74, so you made $70, right? So things like that. So you gotta be careful with those kind of Greeks. So Vega is 100, but usually for the leaps, like it will not be, pretty standard, it won't change much. But that's what the deep one. Other thing you can do is, if it's in the money, you can sell weekly calls, right? That's the other advantage of having a leap. So what you do is basically go to trade again, right? Let's say you have this leap, right? Now what you can do is, I'm going to delete this. So you have this leap. Now what you can do is, instead of not going, let's say you want to sell 12 February, right? And Facebook is what? Facebook is 267. So if you sell, let's say we want to sell, maybe, we want to sell something like, not gonna greedy, just collect 50. So if you sell 290 call for next week, you make $50. So what does it mean is, if Facebook does not reach 290, if it reaches 290, you have to buy back, but your leap will appreciate in value kind of similarly, so you won't be losing as a whole in a trade. You can just close out the leap and everything, leap and this one, or you can roll it out. There's a lot of options. But if you just sell this 290 call for that week, basically what you do is you sell call, right? Your leap acts as a collateral, it acts as having 100 shares, right? So you can sell one contract and collect $50, pretty weak. And as long as Facebook is not 290, you collect that extra $50, right? Pretty cool. That's basically, if you want to do deep in it does get expensive, but it's deep in the money, so you can do weekly calls. That's one thing. You can sell weekly calls, and theta is very less, so no need to worry about theta. And you can make money, right? So that's all good things about leap. So it's I think it's a lot better than the option. And the other thing is, other things a lot of people say is like, what if it goes down, right? Think about it. If you have 100 share, if it goes down, you lose 100. But in fact, in leaps, you'll be losing delta, which is 60-70, right? So you will be losing, well, you'll be making the same thing, but you'll be losing a little bit less. You will lose like whatever delta is, right? So in terms of capital, it's a really good utilization of capital. So that's something, right? Now, but if the stock goes up, you'll make money, but in terms of percentage wise, it will be more than the stock, buying any stock, but it won't be huge, right? It would be pretty decent, like 100-200%, right? But if you really want to make money, then what you do is out of the money. But out the money is risky if the stock just remains flat for a longer time. If it remains like, doesn't move, then you will start losing. Your theta will keep increasing as the time pass, right? So maybe I'll do delta gamma theta. So let's look at how would you choose leap for the out the money and why you should choose, right? So I'm gonna talk about so let's pick a leap. So 352, and we'll do June again, right? So out the money is basically more than what the current price. Facebook is 268, so we are looking maybe 300, 350. Realistically, what I would like is, let's say you are buying a leap for 2 years, right? So where do you think Facebook will go in a 1 year? Usually if you pick that, that's where it's really, you will be in the money. Theta will not kill you, and you can still make a lot of money if you have time usually. And after 1 year, you can sell it, at a good point. For example, let's look at 300, right? 270. So 300 looks like a good. And other thing, while leaking, always look into the volume and open interest, right? So volume and open interest, you can actually see volume and open interest right here. So if you look at 300, that's quite good. That's today's volume. 23 leaves won't have crazy volume, but 23 is pretty good for today. But open interest is, there's 2200 contract, right? That's good. Oh, wow, 320 has 10,000. That's awesome. This is pretty good too. And if you look at 350, there is a 1400. So these are usually, if you get like 300, 350, 400, those had, if it's a smaller stock like DKNG or something, maybe 50, 55, 60, those has the most strike. So Facebook is 60, 70, so 300 is definitely attainable, not too crazy. And here if you look at that, right, so we are looking at 300. This is sell, this is buy. Ask bid is not too bad, 3505 and 36. And if you click here, right, so that cost you 3600, right, 3600. That's pretty awesome, right? And if you look at delta, I just want to look at the delta. And delta is 49, pretty good, right? 49. So this is even better in terms of the other. If you look at that, the next one before we saw was about 7 or 8,000. This is 6,000, 3,600. So you can buy two of those. If you buy two of those, your delta will be, you can just add it, right? So almost 100. There's, well, if a dollar moves, you are making 70. Here you make almost $100, right? So if you get out the money, but somewhere where it's realistic, you will get there, you will reach there in a year, right? If you are getting leave for 2 years, in a year. If you are getting leave for maybe 1 year, you think somewhere where you think it's gonna go in 6 to 7 months, right? The idea is to, again, you can hold it if it's going up, 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 right? There's good signs, everything is momentum, you can hold it till expiration. But the idea is when you're making, you have juice, right, you just sell it, right? So that's where you make the money. So always, right? So these are the kind of leap. I guess it makes sense, like everything, so you pretty much know about leaps. But now, and probably you heard people's making tons of money. I saw some guy like literally got a neo leap of 20 strike when neo was like $1 or $2. That was in cents. He got for $20, which is worth like 3,000, 4,000, something like that. And you saw GME leap, right? The deep value got like GME leap for almost 20 cents and whatnot. But if you look at that, he saw somewhere realistic, right? A lot of people didn't see that, but he saw just $2-3 up, right? GME could go there and it did win, right? That's it. So some of the leaps, I think one of the leaps I'm literally looking, I already have, but I'm kind of thinking of adding is basically, wow, delta sell. That's a big delta trade. It's like negative 4,000 QQQ. So one of the leap I'm thinking is Facebook. Facebook is a great company. I think they will keep doing great. They are doing a 25 billion share buyback, which is really they are in a very good position. So one of the leap is basically Facebook. That's what I'm looking. The other leap I think could be Neo. Neo again had some sideways actions, but kind of consolidating this in 50-58 range. So Neo could be a good leap. What else we have? T-Doc a little high, maybe pull back. It was in 60s. I would have bought that time. Ozone, I alerted about Ozone. I have a leap. I told people to get in right around I think 28, 30. It's almost 53. A little bit too much. But other things, it's CRM had just got the traction. I think this is easily 300 companies, so CRM leap could be really good right now. CRM leaps, I definitely like it. Yeah, Amazon is probably too expensive. I think Square could be a good one too. Future Square has been consolidating that 200, 228, like 220 to 228, 15 to 30, I would say. Really consolidating. Docu had a little bit down day today because of the news. Yeah, those are some of the leaps I'm looking for right now. Others are a little bit high. Maybe you want to wait for a pullback, but those can be a good leaps. If you have any question about leaps, don't forget to comment below. What are your favorite leaps? What are you looking for? Other than that, like, subscribe, and yeah, have a great day. Don't forget to follow me in other social media as well. Thanks.